What's going on, everyone? It's Justin here, and today we're back checking out some tech for your desk setup. If you guys have seen the channel, you know I've been doing a lot of setups all the way since the start of my channel. Whether it was making aesthetic setups, tech-focused setups, student-focused setup, and productivity ones, we've continued that on with some series that also cover the best desk tech. And back in the day, I reviewed webcams such as the Logitech C910, the C920, the Brio, and I think the new era of webcams has now come to 4K, AI, and also auto tracking technology, not only on the realm of video, but also in the realm of AI audio. And in this case, Insta360 is a leader in that space. And right in front of me, I have their brand new Insta360 Link 2 and Insta360 Link 2C. It's a webcam that comes in two different models, but are fundamentally the same when it comes to image quality and AI technology, but one of which features a gimbal for those who really need that wide range of motion, whereas the other focuses on the video and audio quality with tracking features, but comes in at a lower price of $149 compared to $199 if you don't exactly need the gimbal. If you want to win an Insta360 Link 2C, just go ahead and drop a like on this video, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment down below as to what your favorite feature is, along with your Instagram username, and we'll be announcing the winner and pinning the comment in a few weeks and contacting you directly on Instagram. And a huge thanks to Insta360 for sponsoring this video. So in the world of webcams, I will say that over the past few years especially, tech manufacturers and computer manufacturers in particular have continued to improve their webcams that are built in significantly. And so any external webcam is going to have to deliver more than just good image quality, but AI features, both in terms of audio and video, to be able to justify having a separate webcam. And in this case, I would say Insta360 really does demonstrate that. For starters, let's go ahead and talk about the flagship Insta360 Link 2. It is a 4K webcam that features a 79.5 degree field of view built into the camera, and it is also built into a gimbal as well that has a full range of motion, both horizontal, vertical, that allows you to walk around the conference room, be in frame in different aspects, and we're going to talk about some of the specific gestures that allow you to control it just with hand motions. From an objective image quality standpoint, it looks really good. It is able to adjust in terms of brightness as well as depth of field, and there's also enhanced AI bokeh that looks very natural but is able to isolate your surroundings, and it's useful especially if you're in a busy room or a messy room and just want to have a clean but natural background for your meetings, conference calls, or for school. The HDR mode is also really useful for harsh lighting conditions and even can balance out this window behind me that would otherwise have been blown out. On top of that, it also features a half-inch sensor. This half-inch sensor is able to capture at a 4K 30 frames per second resolution, and it also excels in various environments in balancing highlights, shadows, and just providing a visually balanced and appealing experience. And it's able to ensure the skin tones and everything are nicely balanced, as you can see here. One really good versatile feature if you're recording short form content or social media content is being able to use both of these webcams in a portrait mode. So you can fully take advantage of the 4K 30 resolution in the entire sensor without having to crop and recording in the maximum quality. The Insta360 Link 2 and 2C also feature phase detection autofocus, also known as PDAF. This is a technology that is usually found on cameras, and it is the preferred autofocus method because it does a really good job of tracking objects, people that are near and far. And so an example is, obviously you expect that this webcam is able to focus on your face at all times. That is kind of a given. But say I'm trying to demonstrate an object, I can hold it in front of it closely in the center of the frame or on the side of the frame, and it will then focus towards that. And as soon as I bring it away, it will focus on my face again. It uses the phase detection mapping to really be able to track the depth of an object and accurately and quickly pinpoint the focus right away, even if you're on a live stream or a live call. The natural bokeh also gives you a DSLR-like look, and thanks to the sensor depth as well as the software optimizations, it does a good job of naturally blurring out the backgrounds around you and giving you that clean effect that looks like you're using a professional camera as your webcam. And again, this comes from the technology that is brought over from their actual cameras that are used for recording cinematic video, vlogs, and web videos, while having their strength in live streaming technology to not only bring you the best image quality possible, but also the most versatile one that is easy to use. The biggest improvements that come in this next generation though is the AI when it comes to audio technology. And this is one that is always interesting to talk about because a lot of times with a webcam setup, you're sitting a little bit further away. And so even though it might have a good set of microphones, it is just not as optimized as having a separate audio system that can sometimes be a little bit annoying when it comes to space and setup.
So this is an example of the voice suppression mode. It is able to isolate all of the background noise, which in this case is an angle grinder. As soon as I enabled the feature and started talking, you guys can tell that it is able to really narrow in on my voice. And so say you have construction, ambient street noise, or whatever going on in the background, that is able to just clean up your voice. And so whoever is on the conference call or listening on the other side has the clearest sound representation possible.
So this is a test of the AI voice focus, and it's for scenarios where you might be in like a busy office or a co-working space. And in my case, my team often is like talking around the office, and I might be doing a conference call, and it's able to isolate my voice and narrow in on it because I'm the main subject in this clip. And so, yeah, let me know how it sounds in this test specifically, but I feel like it's really handy if you're in a public space, public transit, in an office, and I feel like it's a pretty extreme test because my team is only a couple of feet behind me, and so it should be a really good indication of how this feature works specifically.
But if you go ahead and purchase the flagship Insta360 Link 2, this is where the AI technology and smart framing comes in. And it utilizes the gimbal right here to use that full range of motion as well as the detection technology to be able to track, optimize, and move with you in the frame as you move around the scene and to be able to keep the subject or the person in focus depending on the instructions that you give it. And I can also use the settings to customize the tracking speed, choose the head, half body, or full body framing. So what are some of the gestures that you can use in this series? The first one is just putting your palm forward and it will start and stop the tracking and the framing. If you hold the L, you can go up and down to zoom into yourself. And if you give it the peace sign, it will go into the whiteboard mode. When it comes to some of the touch controls, you're able to also control the webcam by tapping on this panel here for the 2C, and on the 2, it actually has a little touch capacitive aspect on the front of the gimbal because the rest of the camera is constantly moving. As for the privacy, you can have the Insta360 Link 2 flip downwards and away from you, and on the 2C, it will have a physical privacy switch that covers the camera, as you can see right here. The whiteboard mode is also a really handy feature for presentations as it will visually enhance the whiteboard to make sure it is as clear and presentable as possible if you're trying to explain something, even if it's a little bit further away. In the desk view mode, the Insta360 Link 2 is able to automatically tilt downwards and show like a demonstration such as a flat lay, a sketch, a diagram, or literally anything. And so this has been a very popular new feature on webcams, especially lately, just being able to use it more versatilely in a demonstration form. If you don't need the gimbal features, the more inexpensive model of the two is the Insta360 Link 2C. And it has all of the same camera features, the same hardware, the half-inch sensor, 4K 30 resolution, and the ability to use it in both portrait and in landscape, and has all of the AI features as well, but it just doesn't have some of the range of tracking and smart tracking, but it does feature auto framing, which uses intelligent zoom to keep everyone in frame and centered in all scenarios, as well as all of the same gestures. I would say the Link 2 is really good for education content creators, where dynamic movement is crucial for business presentations and pitches, whereas the Link 2C is ideal for personal conferencing, streaming, and minimal movement if you just have it in a fixed scenario pointed towards your desk setup. When it comes to the most similar comparison though, I would say that one of the best webcams right now is the Logitech Brio. It comes in at about $200, which is exactly the same price as the Insta360 Link 2. But what are the features? This right here has a 4K resolution, an ultra-wide lens, a physical privacy switch, and the ability to have it tilt downwards and give you the demonstration mode. but it is not versatile in the aspect of portrait mode. It is objectively a camera that has good image quality. It does feature some aspects of tracking, but instead of actually being able to move, it crops in to the 4K image, which does work for a lot of people, and it's what the 2C is able to deliver, but at the exact same price. You have a camera that is able to rotate and actually reframe itself physically as opposed to reframing itself digitally, and that can be a pretty big difference when it comes to image quality and versatility. As for the image quality, I would say that this is a webcam that had pretty good image quality, but comparative to some of the older generations, it wasn't really a big difference. And I would say if you look at it, you'll see that the optimizations and the image quality on the Insta360 is a little bit better. But otherwise, thank you guys so much for watching this video. As always, if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to go ahead and drop a like, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you all in the next one.